Welcome back to the King of the Course series where you guys, the viewers, send in your SCX24 builds. I run them on the indoor course competition style, and the top 3 trucks in each class are going to take home some prizes. Got a fun one for you today, guys. This is the Rock Goblin from Kade in Utah. You're going to notice a lot of CrawlerTrax branding here today. I'm rocking the shirt as well. It's because Kade is Sam's son, who is the founder of CrawlerTrax. Really enjoy those CrawlerTrax setups. They're great for the winter, especially here in New England when we're stuck inside. So shout out to CrawlerTrax. But today we're going to focus on Kade's rig, Rock Goblin here. So let's jump in and take a look. All right, starting with the exterior of the old Rock Goblin here. So this is the SCX24 Deadbolt. The olive green version here. Long live the Deadbolt. Love me a Deadbolt for sure. On the exterior, it looks like he hasn't done much at all to the body. We've just got some stickers on here. Doesn't look trimmed or anything like that. It is sitting on these nice deep dish Endura black beadlock wheels, wrapped in the Proline Trencher tires. Now we've seen the Trenchers do phenomenally well on the indoor course, so these are a great pick for tires here. Those wheels and tires are mated to the Mias Racing isokinetic axles. Great axles here for the SCX24s. These are the black aluminum versions that look really sharp. The whole aesthetic on this truck looks really well. I like what Kade's done with the black and green theme here. I did notice right off the bat that it sits high. It's got a very tall stance to it. So one of the things I noticed in the front was that the servo, which we'll get to in a minute, collides with the frame rails. That's going to jack that ride height up significantly right off the bat because that servo isn't able to tuck in between the rails there. Now in the rear, he's got the suspension frame mounted to kind of level the thing out. But I would suggest Kade go into an aftermarket chassis that will clear that servo, and you'll see this thing slam right down. You'll be able to reposition the rear shocks and get a much lower center of gravity here. I'm afraid that the high stance of this might hurt us as far as performance goes. Let's open it up. Still running the stock rails on this. We've done a number of different aftermarket components inside the chassis here. Some things on here I've never seen before and are really sharp, so I like a lot of this build here that he's got. The battery tray, the way this battery tray is situated, this kind of LCG setup up front. This is a Bauhaus RC LCG battery tray. Really like it, the way that it tucks that thing up front and it's down low. Reminds me of the Grizzly Works setup, but nice clean setup there. For a power plant, we've got the FuryTech Venom. You can see the Venom Outrunner brushless motor here, being powered by the FuryTech Lizard Pro here on the driver's side slider. These sliders themselves are Endura. These are the bolt-on stainless steel sliders. Looks like they've been trimmed here to clear the tires. I run into this on some of my builds as well with these sliders. They've got a very squared off edge at the front and your tires hit them. With that really gnarly steering angle, looks like he's trimmed that to make room for the steering. So it's a very wise move there. Small micro receiver here on the passenger side slider, made it up to the FuryTech Avatar radio. For suspension, running the Endura oil-filled shocks. I can't tell what millimeters these are. They are fairly long, 40 millimeter, 39 millimeter oil-filled shock here. He does have rubber bands around each one in the front to help with that axle drop. It's still a lot though. We get a lot of drop there. I'd also suggest some tighter bands here, or maybe something in the middle to control that a little bit more. I think we're going to get a lot of lift. Underneath here, we've got some links that I've never seen before as well. So let's check out these lowered links here. So these are the McHugh Mantis lower links. Now, I've heard of these. I've never seen them before. Very cool setup, the way that they're made. They've got a sharp, almost 90-degree bend by the axle and then straight across the belly. Lots of clearance here provided by these links. Kade's also got a flat Endura aluminum skid there. I mentioned the axles providing the steering. We've got this torque servo. These are really nice servos. I like these a lot. A couple other notes on the tires and wheels. So he does have aftermarket inserts in here. He's got Hobby Park silicone inserts. He's also got OGRC internal wheel weights in here. I'm assuming these have brass rings in the front. And then I can also see some custom lights. So he's also hooked up a custom rock light kit here as well. We'll check that out when we turn it on. All right, let's get into some shout outs here. Let's see what we got. Big shout out to CrawlerTrax for sponsoring the build and his dad for funding it, he says. The Shop Mini RC for all their troubleshooting help. The Micro Crawler Club and Van DeWitt in particular for teaching Kade how to comp. CK4RC for the awesome content. Steve at Fury Tech, Sam from Direct RC, and Cape Crawlers for hosting the KOTC series. Now he says, let's go Rock Goblin. Let's go indeed. Let's check this thing out. We're going to hit the corner scales, then the setup table, and we're going to run it, and we'll see how old Rock Goblin does. On the corner scales, let's check it out. So we got actually really solid weight distribution on this thing. We got 59 front, 41 rear, perfectly balanced 50-50 left to right. Total weight of about 522 grams. This is with a stock SCX24 350 milliamp in it. Onto the setup table now. Let's check out the ramp travel index. See the flex on this thing. I'm expecting quite a bit. Yeah, I'd call it 19 on the RTI. All right, now the side hill. It's 45. 50, 55. Boy, this thing's gonna prove me wrong. 55. Now the vertical. It's 50. See that front end starting to come up there. 60. I'd say 62 on the vertical. Here we go. Let's do some initial driving impressions with this thing on the course. Check out the rock lights. Those are pretty rad. Nice and bright underneath there. I didn't even see the rear. And then the good light coming from there. Running this on 2S. Could do up to 3. We'll try it with the 2 that was supplied with the truck. See how it does. If I feel like I need more punch, I can put the 3 in. Kade's also got the overdrive gears installed in the front in this. The MES Racing axles have the optional overdrive setup, which he has incorporated here. Hung up on the body a little bit there. Try and get those trenchers to grab. I feel like those inserts might be a little stiff. Like I said, give it some throttle. Might be a little tricky getting up the canyon for our gates. Just trying to get a feel for the truck right now. We'll drop down into Mini Moab. This is where I'm going to get a little bit nervous with that front end lift. Let's see how this does. You can see it starting to pick up there a little bit. Oh, hanging on just barely. Yeah, see, there's that front end picking up on me there. Oh. There we go. I get set up. Look at that thing. Man, these tires, the trencher tires, man, I'm telling you. These are the winning ticket on the indoor course. Whoa, don't want to lose it there. Oh. Have to be careful on that one. Oh, riding the nose down there. I had to throttle it so it didn't flip. Let's come across the chute, see how we do on the side hill. Pretty planted, more so than I expected. Lost it there at the end, but it was more planted than I expected given the height of the body here. You know what's funny? I've tried the trenchers in the larger size and just don't get the performance out of them like I wanted. They were one of the first 1.9s that I really invested in as far as good tires go, and they just never seemed to do what I wanted. They cake with dirt and just would not perform like I was hoping. But on the minis, man, they do amazing. Struggling here to find the initial grip that I need. There we go. Oh, I lost it. Bummer. Nice. Right, final spin around, and then we will hit up the course runs. Look at that thing stretch. It surprisingly did better than I thought. I was expecting this thing to be falling all over the place with the tall body, but it did better than I expected. It's actually quite planted. I'm excited to see how it does in the actual runs. Get those front tires over. There we go. All right, let's get it. All right, final run for Kade's Rock Goblin. Let's do it. We've had good runs so far. Super impressed with this thing. Had a lot of fun with it. Pleasantly surprised with how well it performs. Had a little bit of trouble on our second run. First run was definitely better, although the time, substantially long amount of time to get around. So I'm trying to find a balance here. I'm in trouble finding. This is where the 3S I think would really help. Contemplated doing the 3S for the final run, but I opted to stay with the 2S because we've had good success so far. All right, we gotta do the wall ride out of here. Keep that away. I made it through. Yes, I made it through. We do a crazy wall ride to get out of here, but we crossed the gate effectively. Be mindful of the width here. Nice, drop down clean. Come over to the second bonus gate. Nice, had a little bit of trouble there in the second run getting that thing to plant. Stuck it that time through that bonus gate, no problem. And go through the hot tub. Ooh, right in the nose there. I gotta get situated. I gotta get that front end to come back down. There we go. All right, I'll get set up for the escalator. Did the escalator clean the first run. I knocked the gate in the second run. So see, I could try and get a clean run again this time to end this on a good note. What I've been doing is taking this high line and coming across because I had a lot of faith in these trenchers to stick. Oh, I lost it that time. Yeah, you see that back end starts to slide. Once you get in this pocket here, you're pretty much toast. I'll try a reset. We'll go up even higher this time. Feeling bold. Jeez. Let's kind of turn in, let this thing, there we go. Just glide right across. But then I get this push from the front. You see that? Just slides right over. And it kind of messes me up here for my line. Because what you don't want to do is fall off that shelf, just like I'm about to do. Thankfully able to recover. See if I can get that front end to bite, pull us over. So those trenchers got to find traction over here. It's right on the edge. Oh no, this was happening in run number 2. Oh my gosh, I did not hit that gate. If I can reset, pull off a miracle here. Oh my gosh, we did it. I tried a little different approach that time, just to keep more of a steady throttle, more speed, but it worked. Should be super cautious. So I pull off a line like that, I don't want to blow it on this. So I keep the speed up, I gotta run this thing down and shoot hard. Yes, through our 3rd bonus gate. Let that servo yank us around, which it does. Had a little bit of trouble with Hell's Gate here. Oh no, I blew it, man. Bummer. I was gonna say I've had a trouble with Hell's Gate, just trying to find the momentum. There it is, that same steady approach. Just keep that speed steady. There it goes. Oh, this would have been such a good run if I didn't make that silly mistake on Hell's Gate there. This is another one where I unfortunately just feel like I have to send it. That was pretty clean. We kind of rock bounced it down, but that was good. Through Articulation Alley. Clean. This is going to be a good run. Now watch out for the Dream Killer here at the very end. This has been giving me a really hard time with this truck. I should get that passenger side tire up there, but then I just drift over towards the pin. I know it likes to slow crawl, but I gotta get that. I gotta get over that ledge. And I just, there we go. Nice. Through the line, 729. Lots of time, but man, that was a good run. All right, great showing here from Kade's Deadbolt. This thing really surprised me. I thought for sure the way the suspension was set up with the frame mounting and the elevated front end due to the servo colliding with the frame rails, I thought for sure that this thing was gonna just suffer from crazy lift and not be able to climb anything vertically. Kade proved me wrong though, and this thing performed great on the indoor course, was surprisingly planted. The trencher tires kept this thing hooked onto the course. That weight down low, that good weight distribution kept it planted. And despite the lift, which we did experience, this thing still was able to put up some really good runs, including a perfect score on the first run, giving this thing a total score of -114, which actually tied it for 7th place in the very competitive Class 2, but just due to the lengthy time that it took me to get around the course safely, bumped this thing down to 8th place. Still a great showing from Kade and great job on this build. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of Kade's build here and the competition thus far? We are wrapping it up, only a few more videos left in the series. So big shout out to you guys, the viewers, and to Kade and Sam over at CrawlerTrax. Make sure you go check those guys out if you haven't already. And as always, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and I'll see you in the next video.